How's it going, everyone? Coming to you today out on the TW200 because I'm going to be testing the Cogent Dynamics DDC kit that I just installed. I wanted to come out and hit some trails. I wanted to hit some Forest Service road. I wanted to go through some rock gardens. I wanted to test it out on a little bit of everything and see just how much of a difference it had made. And so far, on getting to the trail, it has been amazing. I've done a little bit of pavement, a little bit of Forest Service road, and I can tell a huge difference. I am getting less brake dive when I hit the brakes. The front end feels way more planted. I don't know, it just seems really good so far. But all I've been on is a nice dirt road like this right here and on some pavement. So we're about to test it on a trail here in just a second, and we're going to see just how much of a difference the Cogent Dynamics DDC kit will make on the front end of the TW200. So come along for the ride, let's see how it does. Alright, so right off the bat here on the trail, we've got some wet creek rock, which ought to be good and slippery. And we'll see how it handles the bumps of this stuff. Oh, I ended up killing it, but now these rocks are nice and wet and slippery from the rain that we've had. Maybe these here in the sun won't be so bad, but yeah, I can tell a big difference in the way the front end feels with this DDC kit in. It's handling that like it's nothing. That felt really good. The front end is way better than in the factory configuration. My tires are sliding over everything because it's wet, but the actual front end itself is doing tremendous. Hitting this little rock garden here, sitting down and just plowing right through it. The front end feels great. The factory rear end, I can now tell how bad it is because the front end is doing so much better. Got us a little bit of a creek crossing and more creek rock. I know with the GoPro you can't really tell how steep or how flat something is, and then you also can't really tell the depth of the trail and how the shadows and the lights coming through kind of mess with everything, or at least it does with my perception. Alright, so here we are getting started up a hill climb. We're still making it. She's ugly, but she did it. I got a spider web on my face. This thing's just like there's no issue. Right here might be one. Oh yeah. Bouncing over that log with the front end was nothing. Super easy. Ah, dang it. Even have controllability of the bike sitting down. You have controllability standing up. Taking and just climbing. She doesn't bounce around like she used to. The dampening of going over logs and stuff, it's so much smoother, so much less jarring. It's just, there is a huge difference with this front end. I know I keep saying that, but it's true. Huge difference. Now, does this turn it into a true LMX suspension? No. But is it leaps, bounds, and light years ahead of factory? Yes. It is crazy how much better it is out here than the factory. Just got home from my first ride with the Cogent Dynamics DDC kit installed in the TW200, and boy, let me tell you, it does make a huge difference. I took the bike today on asphalt Forest Service road. I went slow on the dirt roads. I went a little bit faster standing and sitting, and I never once had an issue with the front end feeling wishy-washy, collapsing all the way. I never once bottomed out. It handled everything I threw at it on the typical roads perfectly. Now off-road, I threw some just regular trail rides to it, some Jeep type trails. I ran it through some rock gardens. I even ran it up some hills and over some logs, and it handled everything with no problem. I get less brake dive than I did before. There's still some brake dive, but I get less than I did before. The front end feels really planted. I never once bottomed out, even when I was on some single track, and I even hit a couple of small jumps. And even in the tight little zigzags of the wooded single track on pine needles, it still felt good and secure on the front end. I never really felt any issues that had anything to do with the forks or how the forks handled everything I threw at it today. I even took the bike on some tight, overgrown, single track. I did some wooded single track where the ground was covered in pine needles, and underneath that was rocks and mud, and the front end did phenomenal. I never once really felt like there was anything that I was out of control. I never once felt like I was going to bottom out. I never once had any sort of the normal feeling that I would have with the TW. Like on those little jumps, the TW would basically bottom out whenever I would hit. And with the Cogent system, I did. All in all, very happy with it. It did a great job.